Hey there, Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is your reading for the week of April 18th through 24th, 2022. I'll be doing a reading for your specific zodiac sign, and the timestamp for that will be in the description box below. You can go ahead and jump to that right now, or if you would like to add a little pick a card flavor to your reading, I have 4 groups of cards here with associated gemstones that you can pick one or more of to kind of get an extra layer to your reading. Here we have in group number 1, Amazonite, that is for speaking your truth with clarity and confidence. In group 2, we have ruby Fuchsite, which helps with clearing blockages of the heart and connecting with your psychic awareness. For group number 3, we have Pyrite. It is a psychic protection stone that also promotes ideal health, emotional, and intellectual well-being. And then in group number 4, we have this Bloodstone, which helps encourage rejuvenation, increases energy, and helps with grounding and protection. So again, we have group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, and group number 4. So go ahead and pick your group, and I will also put a timestamp for each of these pick a card readings in the description box as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start with group number 1, Amazonite. So I'll put these to the side. Okay. This is the pick a card reading for group number 1 and the associated Amazonite stone. So we have you here in the Palace of Wands. You have the Mothman Ruin card, Twin Flames, and Reconciliation. So with being in the Palace of Wands, that's kind of where your ideas, your energy, your inspiration, creativity, your desires are kind of all grouped. And so it seems that there might have been some yearning that you have for an ex. It has your twin flames. Perhaps that person is truly your twin flame, or a soulmate, or someone that you're hoping, that you really passionately are hoping would be your twin flame. But it seems that the foundation there really wasn't enough to kind of keep it going, but I'm seeing a sense of at least a desire for both of you to really want to reconnect on an energetic, spiritual, emotional level, not necessarily to the same degree that you were, not necessarily trying to be what you were before, but at least wanting to recognize that there is a connection, and that perhaps in the future it can be turned into something else. Just, a really good friendship that is not based on anything other than the pure desire for the other person to really succeed and achieve their life goals and live for their best and highest good. But it seems that ultimately any feelings of kind of upset or disappointment, that's something that this new potential relationship and connection really can kind of can really, you know, push aside. However, I will say that this new relationship I'm sensing would need to be on a level where there's no kind of, not necessarily secrets, but any kind of disappointments need to be worked out, at least expressed, acknowledged, and recognized. So this is definitely not a masking of what was with something new to try to, you know, keep one or the other in your life. Is almost a true kind of heightening of your relationship, but it does need to be in a different form than it was before. So that's what I have for group number 1. This is the reading for group number 2 that picked the deck with Ruby Fuchsite. So you have here Palace of Swords. This will be your primary spot of needing to work out, you know, any obstacles, any disagreements, any agreements and connections. You have this Ghost Endure card. You have this Peace card. And you have this Adapt card. So what I'm kind of sensing here is that you've had to come to accept a certain kind of loss. Perhaps it was a loss of a job, a loss of a relationship, a loss of a certain maybe social status. And really, you've been kind of thinking about what you lost. So in terms of this place, Palace of Swords, it's about, you know, thoughts and communication. It could be that you've just really already been living there for a while. But that this week you're going to kind of recognize that changes that you're going through, you're going to be learning a lot from them. You're going to see different perspectives. So even though you've been kind of in a headspace, possibly also in a sadness, kind of, maybe, what's the word? Butthurt is the way that I kind of think of it. It's not, you know, woe is me. You're not totally broken down from it, but it's definitely something that is kind of lingering, and more so than you thought it would. But even though you've been thinking about things, you're going to start thinking about things in a different way in terms of how what is no longer there, how it changed you anyway, or, you know, when it was there, when the potential was there. You're going to recognize that you're kind of like all that and you didn't realize it at the time. Or it was not that you didn't realize it, that aspect of what qualities you possess, how far you've come since whatever it is that is no longer there was a part of your life. And that basically you are going to feel more at peace, comfortable with the change that's kind of been going on, and really even inspire something for the future. So if this is like a loss of, you know, a job, thinking about how that experience gave you more to put on a resume. If this is was a loss of a relationship, recognizing what it is that you weren't getting, that you maybe were afraid to ask for, and next time going forward you're going to ask for that. Or it could be you know, some type of experience that this is inspiring you to write a story about it, write an article about it, to, you know, do some type of photography, do some type of painting. Basically, this being in your head is going to change and be in a place where it's going to allow you more acceptance of what occurred, and more inspiration for how you can apply what you learned in different spheres of your life. So that's what I have for group number 2. Okay. So this is the reading for group number 3, those that picked the group with Pyrite. You have here Palace of Cups. So it seems that you will or have been kind of living primarily in your feelings and your emotions. You have this misfortune card, but you also have this believe card with a unicorn, and you have this freedom card with this individual inside of a cage. So it seems like for those in group number 3, I'm sensing some type of breakup, some type of disappointment. It could be friendship, but I am sensing that it is more in a romantic aspect. It could also be, for some of you, relating to a job, or maybe a fight with like a parent. But for the most part, I am kind of sensing that this has to do with a romantic relationship that didn't work out. But the biggest issue here is almost like a what next. So you might have been in a stage of looking at what went wrong, and kind of maybe trying to see who was at blame. But at this kind of shifting part, or this week, it's almost like a shift of kind of what is next. What is it that you want now that you don't have what you did have? And kind of dealing with the emotional aspects of what you even deserve. So for those of you who really have kind of been down on yourself, just be gentle with yourself and recognize that most people, if you were to ask them what it is that they truly want, aren't going to be able to tell you with conviction right away. They might joke about, oh, I want a taco right now, or I would love a stiff drink. But in terms of what they truly want, in terms of life aspirations, or who they want to be outside of a connection with someone else, or outside of an environment where their role is very clear, people would really have a hard time telling you. So definitely be gentle with yourself and work with through your feelings. See what you can look at from a higher perspective, objectively, if you're able to, if it's comfortable enough for you, and start imagining, what you would like to do, and not in terms of question answer, but more like envisioning it. What would give you comfort? You could start at that very base level. What would give you comfort? Taking a long hot shower, or maybe having some microwave cheesy chips. I know I love doing that, but just basically, there's no need to figure out exactly where you want to end up and how you're going to get there on this week. It's more of, how is it that you would like to feel, and then that will kind of expand into things that you can do around your house, to what you would want to do outside your front door, to what you would want to do outside of your neighborhood, and it'll grow from there. But basically, don't lose heart in yourself. So this is what I have for group number 3. Need my longer arms. Okay. This is the reading for group number 4, those that picked the Bloodstone. So we have here Palace of Coins, which is basically kind of where you would find the court cards, so the pentacles, hanging out in everyday life, doing day-to-day tasks. So you have here this Bigfoot Solitude card. Isn't Bigfoot adorable? You have this Build card that could almost be a different version of the Palace of Coins, Palace of Sand. And then you have this Manifestation card. So for group number 4, it may be that you have been really kind of on your own, working on your own, spending a lot of time on your own. But you've actually, if that's not the case, that will be the case for the week, and you're going to actually enjoy it. It's going to allow you to recognize your ability to be more organized, more efficient, prioritize your tasks, and really accomplish things that you want to have accomplished. And it's kind of allowing you to pave the way for something bigger. Perhaps you are trying to, you're going to school for architecture, or you're wanting to move into a home, or you're looking to start managing real estate properties. And whatever you're doing now, it's giving you a real routine on what you will need for the future. So definitely make sure you're taking notes, you're writing out schedules, you are searching for templates or creating your own templates for what it is that you're looking to accomplish and manifest. For some of you, it might even be weightlifting, body sculpting, but basically what you're doing on your day to day and keeping track of it. It could be like, keeping track of the carbs or the calories or the proteins that you're having. Could be you're keeping track of the number of your steps you're walking. But really, for some of you where this is not like a business endeavor, it's really focusing on your body and kind of shaping it the way that you want it to look and feel. And even in terms of health, you're really on task for that this week. So that's what I have for group number 4. Hey there, Taurus. This is your personalized reading for the week. To get a clearer picture of things, be sure to check out your readings for sun, moon, and rising signs. So we're going to start off here with 3 cards. Okay. You have inner peace, enlightenment, and fresh start. So for this week, it's really a sense of whatever kind of turmoil that you've been through recently, disappointments, or just feeling blah. Right now, you are kind of getting out of that. You're starting to be okay with the way things are. You're starting to recognize that this can be a new start for you. And you're going to start having more me time. So if there's something you were wanting to learn, been putting off, perhaps taking an online class or reading a book, or going to the park, picking flowers, playing a ukulele, learning to do that, or even writing a song, you're going to be able to take this week to really expand and kind of feel more yourself, but more a different and improved type of you. So okay, you have the Hermit, Hanging Man, and 8 of Coins, 8 of Pentacles. So really this will be you kind of more taking time away from mainstream life. I would say even take some time away from social media, and really focus on what it is that you have, kind of how you've grown. And really I see this kind of being something that you can really put into like a project, working with your hands. Yeah, the ukulele comment, but really it is seeming that you are recognizing that this is a journey for you to walk on your own. That whatever you were disappointed about, feeling blah about, feeling not amazing about, you're recognizing that it is part of life, and that there's ups and downs in life, and that was just one of the downs, or maybe towards the middle of the road, and that life always isn't just puppy dog tails and sunshine. that there are, trying times in your life that you overcome, and it really requires you to shed things that don't serve your best purpose. It could be that, it's almost a sense of your connection with other people and providing a sense of your identity, and starting to recognize that you can create your own identity based on your skills and talents that you possess naturally, or that you can learn. And it's not about your sense of self, your sense of who you are is not based on who you surround yourself with, who you work for, who you're bringing to parties, who you're sitting with at lunch, things like that. You have the 9 of Pentacles here. So a sense of working hard and knowing that you accomplished who you are and what you have based on you, that's going to start being a key theme for you. And you're going to, I'm almost sensing like the things that you're going to make are just going to be like filling your wall. Like if you draw pictures, you've got, they're starting to flow outside of books, and they're going to start, being on your walls. You're going to start finding new ways to use them. You're going to start doodling little sayings and start making little greeting cards. Something along those lines is going to really kind of spring out of this week. You have here the 2 of Swords. I think there was a part of you that really was afraid to make a decision about, separating yourself from certain people or venturing out on your own because of a sense of maybe was wrong, maybe you shouldn't do that because it's just the thought you had, and maybe other people know better, and people have told you A, B, and C in the past, so really you shouldn't venture off and do something that's outside of, what other people have previously approved or said was good for you, something along those lines. You are kind of recognizing that doesn't work for you. That doesn't really help you in any way. Just being kind of listening to others, almost fearing that you're not taking their advice, or not doing what they would like. That's something that really gave you kind of, I don't know if it call it anxiety, but not great feelings in the past. So you have the Hermit again. So really a time of figuring out your own priorities in life, your own life purpose. This is really a time for you to kind of just make your own path. And that does kind of require you to not listen to, I guess, your ego, to other people's ego, but and it doesn't need to be like a lonely withdraw from society altogether and go to a cave. That's not what this is. This is you kind of maybe even a gathering of people, showing up for a third of the time you would usually show up for, just to say hello and be on your way. And if you didn't feel like going, don't go. Send one of your, drawings with the nice little comment. Thanks for the invitation, So really this is you going on your own self-discovery, or the start of that. And you have the Ten of Swords here. So I feel like this kind of not knowing what to do and being afraid of, doing the wrong thing, that is kind of falling to the wayside. For some of you, maybe it will have to be overthinking something to death, like a figurative death. For others, it might be that you relied on someone or something else so much that you made a decision and turned out to be wrong. But for the most part, however you get there, you're really going to have more of a sense of who you are and a clean slate. And really any type of kind of frustration or any type of emotion, doubt, thoughts, if you're starting to be like obsessively thinking about something, start putting it into something you can put your hand and heart to, a project of some sort that is yours entirely, and not necessarily a work project unless you're one of those people that really, loves to work and your work, but it's something that you are creating and putting your focus, your attention, your skills, your talent into it, and that's defining you, as opposed to anything else in your, outside world. So you have here Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. So you have a lot of qualities within you that really, it doesn't matter what someone thinks or says. Those are for you to discover and you to embrace and to share with others, should you choose. Then you have this card of Lord. Take charge with authority. So this week is really kind of a huge shift for you in not being caught up in your head and actually taking your life experiences and transforming them, putting your spin of magic on what you do, and really literally changing your life. So I'm hoping that this provides helpful perspective for your week, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Hey there, Virgo. This is the part of the reading that is personalized for you. To get a full picture of the week, be sure to check out your readings for sun, moon, and rising signs. So we're going to start off with these cards here. You have Rebirth, Creation, and Courage. So, it seems that for most of you, there has been some type of loss. Whether it is a job loss, a loss in relationship, a loss in status of some sort. This is sounding familiar. I think that was one of the groups that I mentioned earlier. So here you're really going to have to dig deep to shed some things that really weren't for your best interest. You're going to have to, for some of you, it's probably not something that you willingly wanted to happen, and you're kind of in this position where you have to make the best of it. I would say that I'm getting a sense of really things are harder when it gets, to nighttime and you're going to sleep, you're closing your eyes, things are quiet, you're really in your mind kind of not playing games with yourself, but you could be kind of having a certain discussion with yourself that at times isn't productive. And at times it is productive. At times there is a sense of what you're going to do to, change what you can change for the better. And for that, it's going to kind of really make you see things or face things that maybe you didn't want to face when things were going down. Maybe it was, a comment that really stuck with you and you didn't like it. What I'm kind of sensing is one of those things that it's like, it really irks you when someone makes this particular comment or makes a certain assumption about you, because it's absolutely not true. And it just really just gets you so like fired up that someone would think that, or someone would, something along those lines. And then examining what it is really that was said or what the assumption is, and kind of recognizing, well, I can see maybe that one time that happened, or only on these certain occasions that happens. And it'll really call for you to kind of take note of those things. That's kind of what I'm kind of picking up on. Take note of those things and really decide how it is you want to deal with those realities. So you have here Knight of Cups, King of Swords, and Two of Coins. So it is a sense of whatever it is you lost, whatever you have to let go of. It is something that was really dear to your heart. Perhaps you feel you wore your heart on your sleeve too much. You revealed too much about yourself. But really, it's almost as if if you didn't wear your heart on your sleeve, you couldn't be you. And really this sense of doing things, knowing exactly what to say, when to say, how to say it, and being reasonable and clear-minded. It might be a version of you that you would like to believe that you can be, but more so you are the person that is in touch with your emotion and is affected with your emotion, in the sense of you allow your emotions to bring you to good places. It's almost as if you use your intellect to protect you and to kind of create a version of yourself that you feel would be the best protected version of you. But in a sense, it's kind of you want to be more wearing your heart on your sleeve, and you show people this more like, I'm very like confident and I know what I want, nothing say can bother me. And then you kind of let people in, and then that's when you start showing who you really are. And that's even more amazing than the protected version of you that you show. And when you kind of let people in, that's really difficult when things don't go in a positive way. So you have this Nine of Pentacles here, and it's this individual who is alone with a little squirrel friend there. And in this deck, it's a sense of more loneliness in this card, whereas you might have everything you want for now, like financially. You're in a good place, you're able to be independent, take care of yourself, and you really do enjoy the rewards of your hard work, but it's that sense of being alone and doing things alone, celebrating things on your own, that's kind of, you know, wearing on you. And this wants to come out. You have the 10 of Wands here. So definitely a sense of, you know, being independent is all fun and good, but then you're just doing it all by yourself. And it's almost as if you feel you need to, who you are is not the person that you're hiding from this facade of like the more confident person. It's that person who wants to wear their heart on their sleeve, plus the potential other partner, that other half that will complete you. That's the way I feel like you're seeing yourself. You can see here this person in the 10 of Wands. You can barely see their eyes in this Rebirth card. And it's like this person has a, you know, normal face and then a skull face. So it's almost as if you are feeling that what is weighing you down is that you don't have that other person to complete you, that can enjoy you can enjoy life with, but can also help you to overcome, you know, tough times, which that sounds reasonable. But to some degree, there's a part of you that needs to fully accept who you are, and fully embrace who you are, so that, you know, when you meet that perfect counterpart, if one exists for any person in the world, asterisk on the word perfect, basically then you can even be a, you know, a greater couple. So then I have the 10 of Cups for you. This type of like looking at who you are and what more you could be if you embrace all aspects of you, and, you know, recognize that at times that you're more sensitive. You can definitely be reasonable and confident, all those things, but acknowledging more of, you know, wearing your heart on your sleeve even when you don't feel fully protected. It's almost, you need to like blend more of that in, the true you in, so that it doesn't feel so like exposed, that you're not so exposed when it does come to fully allowing your, you know, your sensitive person, or the emotional aspect of you, or the one that just like wants to show love all the time. Like once you reveal that person, it won't be so exposed or vulnerable. But this kind of embracing who you are will really set you up for having that dream life you want, that perfect ever after that you envision for yourself and that it could be. And you have here the Ace of Swords. So this kind of shift will really help give you a sense of clarity, a sense of your own truth, And that's really kind of what is happening that week, is really recognizing what parts of you need to, build back up even stronger. So you have Water Guardian. Connect with your emotions. So Water Guardian knows that you need to not kind of shove your cups down and guard them with your sword. You have to kind of connect with them more. You need to allow them to be part of your everyday interactions. Then we have Spring. See your seeds grow. So perhaps just try it. Try embracing that more sensitive part of you and revealing it to people that you would normally want to have some type of barrier protection or shield from. Just kind of sprinkle it in a little bit and kind of see the reaction you get and see how you feel. So this is what I have for you. I'm hoping it provides some helpful perspective for the week, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Hey there, Capricorn. This part of the reading is personalized for you, so take whatever resonates and leave for others whatever doesn't. And to get a full view of your week, be sure to check out your readings for Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Okay, so we have here inner peace, connection to nature, and gratitude. So what I'm sensing here is for those that have been feeling not really connected to yourself, not really feeling yourself lately, it would really benefit you to kind of just go for a walk, go to a park, take off your shoes and put them in, on the grass, on, fresh dirt. You can stomp around in the mud if you feel like it, but basically feeling things, actually feeling connected, kind of being back into the awareness of your body. Possibly even, practicing some yoga, kind of bringing attention to your breath, to your limbs, your core, how you're feeling. And this is going to really get you out of whatever headspace you've been in. And it will kind of help you to remember the things that used to make you happy, and you'll have a sense of more appreciation for kind of what's around you. It'll help you to kind of recognize more and be in touch with your body more about when you need something, when you need, more water, when you need to get more iron in your body or get more vitamin D. It'll kind of help you to get more registered to your wants and needs, not in what you think you want and need, but what your body is kind of telling you you want and need. So you have here the Magician, Page of Swords, and Page of Coins. With the pages is a sense of curiosity and learning, recognizing the value of something, and recognizing how you can get information from new sources, with you kind of being able to get connected with your body and the sensations that you have, you'll be able to kind of pick up certain deficits. Like I was saying, you know, if you need more certain vitamin D's, it's not like you're gonna know that just by, you know, feeling the air and it's like, I need more vitamin D. But it'll definitely have you recognize, you know, when you eat this type of food, you feel this certain way. When you, you know, wake up at this time of day, you feel a certain way. When you go to bed at, you know, a certain time, you get this kind of quality of sleep. But it'll kind of really help you to tune into what you actually need to kind of be the best version of yourself. And that actually will set the kind of set in place your ability to just generally be more aware of not only yourself but your environment, and pick up more on cues in your environment that will really help you to kind of be a master communicator. And if there is, like, if you're studying a certain subject or you are trying to learn new techniques for a career or job, it will help you to pick up things in different ways that you didn't really, you know were there. And it will kind of also help you to not listen to other people's opinions when you decide you want to do something for yourself. For example, I am gluten-free. When I started doing that back in 2008, you know, I went to the doctors, I got tests, and I'm not allergic to gluten, but I just didn't feel right and decided just to cut it out of my diet altogether. And a result of that, my skin was clearer, and there's probably about 20 pounds of weight that I have never gained back since I've done that. So even though there were no specific tests to say that I shouldn't eat gluten, it's something that I had to kind of take in my own hands and listen to my body and kind of pick up patterns and just try it. Like, you know, just try this and see how I feel. And it really, you know, showed me in different ways how it was beneficial. So I'm kind of sensing that type of you being connected to your body and recognizing how your body's working, and just getting having you be that new source of information, having a new sense of value of you connected to your environment and what you can kind of, you know, glean from that. And I have here the Three of Swords here. So for some of you, it does seem that this forgetfulness, disconnect from you has to do with the fact that you had been going through some type of loss. Could be a breakup, could be a job loss, something where you actually were focused on something outside of your body, in the sense of, you know, thinking about the upset, thinking about the discussions that took place, thinking about, you know, the things that you think contributed there. It's almost as if you've been watching a movie about what was taking place and kind of not paying attention to what your body needs or wants in the present moment. you have the Hermit here. So this will be this kind of refocus on you is part of your recognition of how you can bounce back from kind of jarring situations. How you will it'll give you like a path and a pattern, not in the sense of it being like a defense mechanism, but more of, okay, I've been really not focused on me. What are the things that I need to do to get back into that focus? Oh yeah, I'm going to go on a walk. I'm going to do some stretching. I'm going to go for a run and be grateful for this fresh air and, you know, the sun on me or something along those lines. But this is going to really help you in, you know, not saying that you're going to have disappointments all the time, but whenever there is a disappointment, whenever there is something that you need to kind of get past, overcome, this will be a way for you to get back in tune with who you are and, you know, recognize what your potential is. You have the Three of Wands here. So a sense of some type of growth you were trying to, some kind of expansion will kind of come about from this, in the sense of you could use this as a way to connect with other people who are, you know, having tough times. It's almost like, I feel like, you know, like a support group even. That this would kind of set the path for you to really discover what works for you, and you're going to want to share it with others, and kind of even start maybe a business or a blog, or, you know, some type of chat group, online group, or even with your own friends, kind of a sharing of, this is what I do to kind of get back in touch with me. You have the Seven of Pentacles here, which is, I'm sensing a sense of really, not a reluctance, but perhaps in the past, when you've kind of tried to focus on you or pay attention to you, whatever it was you were hoping would be like the new improved you, or the not the better version, but whatever benefits you were hoping didn't happen fast enough, didn't happen in the way that you were expecting or thinking that it would occur. So you might not have even looked at certain aspects. You know, like for example, with the thing with the gluten, I had a friend who also stopped doing gluten, and the issues with her sinuses cleared up. That's something that I wouldn't have thought. I don't happen to have issues with my sinuses, but it's something where you really have to kind of let all expectations of what should come as a result of, you know, focusing on you. Any certain expectations, almost kind of releasing them and recognizing that when you are connected to your body, when you're listening to, you know, what your body has to say, you'll start recognizing small changes, but you have to be open to seeing them. You have to be appreciative of what your body does overall, you know, for you, and what you're able to endure, because, you know, your body is what allows you to kind of sit there and watch those movies in your head and, you know, think about what you'll do differently. And it almost allows you the ability not to focus on your body, because that's how much we kind of take it for granted, or we don't, I guess, take it for granted is, yeah, we take our bodies for granted a lot. And this week is really kind of calling for you to recognize the value and of your body, and really your connection to what it is you're eating, what it is you're feeling. And so you taking, I don't want to say a temperature, an assessment of your body by actually paying attention to it and being in tune with it. That's really going to help you kind of really own different aspects of your entire environment. And it's almost like what you can do with that is limitless, but you have to really focus on being connected and in touch with your body before you can do amazing things not paying attention to your body, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping that this provides a helpful perspective of your week, and we'll see you next time. Take care.